Jessie James Decker, the 37-year-old country pop singer known for hits like Lose Control, has shared an emotional and candid look into her family life, particularly focusing on her son Forrest and the daily realities he faces due to asthma. Jessie and her husband, former NFL player Eric Decker, are parents to 4 children: their daughter Vivienne, who is 11, son Eric Bubby Jr., who is 10, Forrest, now 7, and their youngest, Denver, who is 2. Raising a large family comes with its share of joys and challenges, but one of the most persistent has been managing Forrest's asthma, a condition that requires constant awareness and care. The first signs that something was different with Forrest appeared when he was just 2 years old. Jessie noticed that while he loved running and playing alongside other children, he would frequently have to pause to catch his breath. It was as if his lungs simply could not keep pace with his energy and enthusiasm. These moments stood out because they contrasted with the effortless way his peers moved about. Over time, the pattern became clearer. Forrest would often catch colds more easily than others, leading to prolonged bouts of coughing and wheezing that were hard to control. In some instances, the coughing fits became so severe that he would end up vomiting, leaving both him and his parents exhausted and concerned. Watching her young son struggle in these ways was heartbreaking for Jessie. Seeing a child who wanted nothing more than to play and explore be repeatedly sidelined by his own body evoked deep worry and empathy. The situation escalated to the point where, in January 2021, Forrest required multiple trips to the emergency room in a short period. These visits culminated in a formal diagnosis: asthma, a chronic respiratory condition where the lungs and airways become inflamed and narrowed in response to various triggers, making it difficult to breathe normally. Triggers can include allergens, exercise, cold air, or illnesses, and the swelling leads to wheezing, shortness of breath, chest tightness, and coughing. The diagnosis brought a wave of fear for Jessie. Like many parents, she had heard stories about severe asthma attacks in children, some with tragic outcomes, and the uncertainty weighed heavily on her. She admitted to feeling overwhelmed at first because her knowledge of the condition was limited. The idea that her little boy could face life-threatening episodes was terrifying, and it took time to process the reality while learning how to manage it effectively. Now, several years later, the family has adapted to living with asthma as a part of their routine. Forrest follows a regimen of regular medication, including preventers and rescue inhalers when needed, combined with careful monitoring of his environment and activities. Triggers are identified and avoided where possible, things like dust, pollen, or intense physical exertion without warm-up, and his condition is tracked closely to prevent flare-ups. The improvements have been noticeable. With consistent care, Forrest is able to participate more fully in daily life, school, and play, though vigilance remains essential. What stands out most in Jessie's reflections is Forrest's resilience and positive outlook. Despite the challenges, he has developed a mature understanding for his age. He recognizes that everyone has something they deal with in life, and for him, asthma is simply his thing. Rather than letting it define or limit him, he approaches it with acceptance and determination. Jessie and Eric have worked to instill this mindset, emphasizing that life is what you make of it. They encourage him to focus on the positives, pursue his interests, and not feel isolated because of his condition. This perspective has inspired the family to speak openly about asthma. By sharing their experiences, they hope to raise awareness and support others who might be going through similar situations. Jessie has highlighted how important it is for people with chronic conditions to feel seen and understood, rather than alone in their struggles. Knowing there are others facing the same daily battles can make a significant difference in coping and maintaining hope. Forrest's story, as told by his mother, is one of quiet strength. He pushes through discomfort, adapts to limitations, and continues to embrace childhood with enthusiasm. The daily challenge of managing asthma, remembering medications, recognizing early signs of trouble, balancing activity with rest, has become a normal part of his life, but it has not diminished his spirit. Jessie's openness serves as both a personal catharsis and a way to connect with other families, reminding them that while asthma requires ongoing effort, it does not have to overshadow joy, growth, or family bonds. Through medication, education, and a supportive home environment, Forrest is thriving in his own way, proving that challenges can be met with courage and love.